Hello again. In this lesson, we will have a lot of things to think about. Introducing DGE, which is a spelling for the end of a one-syllable word with a short vowel sound. But the first thing you will notice is that Gaston gossiping about Gus, the letter G is used for the sound G. So our new bit of information is that if it is followed by an E, we say J. The D is there, not to be heard, but so that we keep the vowel in front of it. As a short vowel, it is a wall to keep that vowel safe. And a word that we might like to think about is judge. And if we were to judge Gaston's behaviour, what would we give him as marks out of 10 for his gossiping? You never know, we may decide to give him higher marks when we know how helpful that little phrase is. We've already introduced double S, double F, CK and double L as choices for the end of a one-syllable or chin-tap word that has a short vowel sound. A, E, I, O or A. So when we add DGE, we have a lot of additional things to think about. Let's start by writing a few words. Judge is a pretty good one to start with. J, A, J. J, A, J. Judge. So J at the beginning is written with a J, but at the end of the word it's written with D-G-E. Judge. The D keeps the short vowel A safe, and because the G is followed with an E, we say J again. Judge. Let's think of another word. Badge. B-A-J. Is it a one-syllable? Yes, it is. Does it have a short vowel sound? Yes, it does. Badge. We can hear B-A and then D-G-E for the J sound at the end. Badge. This time, dodge. D-O-J. D is D-O. We write O. J at the end. D-G-E. Dodge. And here we can see that we have U, A and O. So we have a wee hint for one of the things we need to think about. We will be looking at the vowel letters that come after J or G to know exactly which sounds to say. And our next word, hedge. Having a different vowel, j, won't affect the j at the end. Is H, is E, and j at the end of a one-syllable word with a short vowel sound, D, G, E. And another one, midge, I, j. Is M, I is I, j at the end of a one-tap word with a short vowel sound, D, G, E. Now at this point I must say that you do sometimes find D, G, E for j in the middle of some words. But for now we are keeping to one-syllable words. Let's think of some more. How about budge? B-a-j. B is B, A is U, j at the end of a one-syllable word with a short vowel sound, D, G, E. And then edge, E-j. We can only hear two sounds, but we spell it with 4 letters. 1 for the E, 3 for the j at the end of the word, edge. And if we added an L at the beginning, what would we have? Edge, ledge. There, ledge. And I think we'll add one more sound at the beginning of ledge. Any idea what it's going to be? S-l-e-dge. Sledge. So, it doesn't change if we have more consonants in front of the vowel. It's what we have after the vowel that sounds the same and is spelt in the same way. Bridge. B-r-i-j. D to keep that vowel sound saying I, and then G-E. And the last one is pretty similar to spell, but completely different in meaning. Fridge. F with your teeth on your bottom lip. R-I-j. Fridge. Yep, we need an F if our teeth are at the back of our bottom lip. Fridge. We're going to take a wee break from spelling our words because there is something else we need to think about before we add any suffixes. Oh, we have a tree. Looks like a palm tree. And here we have Jack jogging along towards the palm tree. And he stops and he jumps a couple of times. Jack jogs and jumps. drops. If we hear J and it is followed by A, O, or U, we usually write the letter J. Let's see what's next. Oh, my goodness, a giant. But I think, despite what he looks like, he's a gentle giant, because Jack is running towards him without worrying at all. He didn't just turn round and go the other way. And this gentle giant likes to gyrate. He spins round and round on the spot. Jack was off to the gentle giant's gym, and it was all outdoors. Plenty of fresh air while they were doing their exercises. And the gentle giant's gym reminds us that if we hear J and it's followed by E, I, or Y, we write the letter G. And this is important to remember when we're adding suffixes. So let's take a look at a few words we've already covered and add suffixes. Our first word is judge. J, a, j. Same sound at the beginning and the end, but a different way of spelling it. J at the beginning, D, G, E at the end. If our judge had finished judging, we would say they had judged already. Judged. Which suffix will we be adding? ED, you're quite right. Judge. Drop the E and add ED. We didn't just add a D. So that's one of the rules. And we didn't have to worry because the suffix began with an E. Let's think of the next one, judging. So the beginning of the word is the same. So we've got J-U-D. And did you notice that? The E has been dropped again, but this time we've added suffix ing. And that's absolutely fine, because an I after the G would also let us know to pronounce the G as J. Judging. Okay, another word we can use, sledge. S-U-E-J. Let's write it. Sledge. And this time I think we will write sledging first. So have a think. Sledge. Drop the E and add ing. And it's fun to go sledging and to come home and say, whoa, I had a great day. I sledged. Sledge. drop the E and add ED. Sledged. Now, we were quite used to our story to help us think about when to write the letter K and when to write the letter C. The king put the kettle on to make the cop in the cap a cup of tea. And then they had a snack, because K at the end of a one-syllable word with a short vowel sound would be written C-K. And here is our new story. Jack jogs and jumps at the gentle giant's gym. When we hear J, we write it with a J if it is followed by A, O, or U. And we write it with a G if it's followed by E, I, or Y. And in a one-syllable word with a short vowel sound, we would use the DGE spelling that we see in judge. And we can judge this outdoor gym as 10 out of 10. So we have our third spelling for the sound J. And if we're reading, we would look at the letter G and then look at the letters that come after it to decide what to say. If the letter G is followed by A, O, or U, we would say G. And Gaston gossiping about Gus might be our reminder. If the G is followed by E, I, or Y, we think about the gentle giant's gym. And that's another reminder. You may like to leave your lesson here, or you could get out your alphabet cards and we could start with E. Ch, written D, G, E. Edge. And you might like to continue with your spelling. Which letter might I put at the beginning of edge? I think it probably will be an L, but you may have different ideas. When you come to take a look at the words you've written and decide exactly which one of them you'd like to use the letters for and in which order. Thank you for joining me.